You've triggered my trap card, the Magical Hats. In this series, myself and 3 of the top Yu-Gi-Oh! Streamers will give their unfiltered, uncensored, and uninformed takes on some of Yu-Gi-Oh!'s most pressing issues. The catch? One of these 4 has a fake take, and it's up to the rest to find the liar. It's time to play Magical Hats.
Let's go.
That was really in sync. That was really good, guys. I'm proud of that. Teamwork.
All right, we did it.
Congratulations. Welcome back to another episode of Magical Hats. I am so happy to be sitting down with just the 3 most attractive young men in the whole wide world. We got Kevin, we got Nadir, we got Gage, we got me. How's everybody doing all at once?
Doing good, bro.
Outstanding.
I got a bone to pick with you really quick before we start, Joseph, and I want to put this to your comment section. I want them to comment their favorite combination of Tesco meal deal, because the absolute horrible takes that you've been giving about British cuisine on Twitter should not be forgiven.
I will say, I hope that none of my viewers have an answer to this. If any of you are British, you have to tell me. Today we're talking about one of the hottest topics in Yu-Gi-Oh! Like we do every week. But today, what we're talking about is Maxx. Now, a lot of individuals have a lot of really strong opinions about if this card is good for the game, bad for the game, but today we're going to be talking about if it should exist in Master Duel specifically. So, Kevin, you want to lead us off?
Yeah, I mean, I feel pretty strongly about this one. I like Master Duel a lot. I think the Master Duel format is great, and I think there is one very big spec that is just ruining this game that is like it's a solid like 8 out of 10, but it drops to like a 3 because of Maxx. I hate this card. This card should absolutely not exist in any format, including Master Duel, and I really think that it should just outright be banned and never spoken about again.
Oh, wow. Okay, well, strong take as ever. Nadir, what do you got?
Strong words, Kevin, strong words. I've been sort of like back and forth on the card in TCG for a long time. You know, I've sort of flip-flopped between like, it's fine, and then like, you know, it's like obviously like not great and ideal. But what I will say specifically in the context of Master Duel, I think it's really bad. And that's specifically because of the fact that it's best of 1. And so when you play a best of 3 game, the variance of, you know, doing full combo, not getting interrupted, and ending on Maxx during your opponent's standby phase is one of the worst situations you can be in. If you do that in a best of 1, that's game over. You can just click the top left. You've wasted 10 minutes of your life. So a bit of a, I guess, like the meme in my community and my channel now is this concept of the minigame, the side quest that happens in every duel. You see, when you sit down to duel, there's 2 duels happening. So you have the engine versus engine, you versus your opponent, and then you have the side quest of, I'm going to activate Maxx. It's a frustrating card for all the reasons that Kevin just mentioned, and I think it is particularly exacerbated in Best of 1, where you cannot eliminate the sort of really egregious pain points of Maxx.
Goated opinion.
I feel like I'm going to get called out immediately because I have almost the exact opposite opinion of Farfa. And by that, I mean the exact opposite opinion that is defensible. Obviously, I don't think that Maxx is good. You know, I don't think anyone in this call would be like, oh boy, the card is nice. But I will say Master Duel has made me a Maxx agnostic. I think Farfa's absolutely right that there is a side quest where you play the Maxx minigame before you actually play Yu-Gi-Oh!
Sorry, do you not know if Maxx exists or not? Is this what Maxx agnosticism means?
Yeah, basically. No, I think despite the fact that Maxx can be so game determinative in Best of 1, there's already something that's way more game determinative in Master Duel's Best of 1 format, and that's the coin flip. Like, in a world where there aren't really powerful equalizers and hand traps that do more than just interrupt your opponent, that, like, actively, like, put offensive pressure on them, the coin flip is going to determine almost every single game. And so I appreciate that while the minigame isn't the same as Yu-Gi-Oh!, it's a way by which the coin flip doesn't just determine winners and losers. I do feel like the version of Maxx where it is the worst is when your opponent puts up a full combo and then during your draw phase they go, ha ha ha, Maxx while Baron's up. To me, like, full combo plus Maxx isn't functionally different than full combo without Maxx, because, like, if you do an uninterrupted full combo, you win anyway. Like, that's just Yu-Gi-Oh! And the third thing and final thing I'll say is that I kind of like that it has forced players to get creative when deck building. Like, now, you have a line in MathMex specifically geared for what you do if they Maxx your circular. You have a line in Branded for, like, what you do if they Maxx on the activation of branded fusion. Like, people are putting contingencies in their deck list, even in combo guides. So I don't love the card, but I do think it is not always bad.
Well, I think Maxx is definitely one of the most divisive cards in Yu-Gi-Oh, right? Like, since release, it wasn't really played too much on release, but it just has morphed itself into, in my opinion, the best card of all time in Yu-Gi-Oh. I think in general TCG land, OCG land, I actually feel like the card should be banned in like competitive play in a best of 3 format. But as Joseph said, like, I think the game one, like it being like only a best of 1, has definitely given me a little bit of respect towards Maxx actually. I still feel like it's the greatest equalizer in the game, but through deck building and stuff, I've sort of learned a different kind of view of it. One thing that I think would be really important is like if we looked at Master Duel, if it had like a tournament scene, right? Like when Fluanderies and stuff was dominating, Maxx's literally useless against that deck. And I feel like when you're going up against ladder where it could literally be anything, and you could play like trap decks or something, Maxx loses a lot of like the power and the potency behind it. I feel like Joseph had the right idea saying like it's the worst case scenario when you go full combo and then just drop Maxx on your opponent. But you also have to remember that now that in the game especially, there's a whole bunch of different decks that people can play. But when you're in a best of 1 and everything, you can really get caught off guard in like a tournament scene or something like that, and maybe get swept by, I don't know, Inspector, Border, like stun or something like that. The possibilities are actually just endless in a best of 1 format. I really feel like people have to shift their view from how we traditionally look at Maxx in a best of 3 format, because it is just significantly different.
The only thing you could have said worse than that, Gage, is at the end there is like maybe 2 would be fine. You know, that's the only
No,
thing.
Kevin,
I am seething. What do we do with these people, Kevin? How do we, like, I'm ready to fight someone. This is going to be the most violent episode we've ever had. This was garbage. Your takes are dog shit. You guys are so dumb.
The goal isn't to figure out whose take is dog shit or not. We know like 90%.
I don't care, Kevin. I'm on my own side quest now, and that's to fight these 2 people.
Give me a sec. We know that 90% of Joseph's takes are dog shit. It's just a standard at this point, okay?
Fuck off.
So we're not here to figure out whether the take is dog shit. We're here to figure out who is lying.
I'm here to figure out Joseph's address. That's what I'm here for, Kevin. I'm sorry.
So one thing that I am gonna ask to the 2 that like are advocating that Maxx is like okay. You guys are saying how it like adds a lot of variety to people's decks, and like they deck build for it and everything, and they build lines in their deck in order
building
to
for
play
Maxx,
again,
by the way.
against Maxx. Yeah, exactly. And in my opinion, the only deck building for Maxx that we're seeing is everyone and their mom is 3 Ash, 3 Maxx, 2 Call By, and a Cross Alley.
Whoa. You're forgetting about Ghost Bell.
At the end of the day, like, you guys are saying, oh, well, the coin flip would determine the winner immediately, but it's like, well, I mean, if I didn't have to play Ash, Maxx, Call By, Cross Out in my deck, maybe I would be on, 3 Forbidden Droplet, maybe even some going second cards. Pancratop's at 3 for Christ's sake,
So I guess I feel like this is more specifically targeted at me because I was talking a lot about coin flips, but
And because your IQ is at room temperature, but
oh
go
my
on.
god, I'm gonna attack you. I would say that if the Master Duel tax didn't exist, right? If Maxx was banned, you didn't have to play Maxx Ash, Called By Crossout Bell, then you would see, to compensate for the coin flip, a bunch of like equalizer style cards that have applications going first. Like, people would start deck building with like 3 droplet, 2 or 3 triple tack, stuff like that. Like, I think that there are enough externalities that there's always going to be a lot of similarity in deck building.
But that's fundamentally way more fun and fairer than Maxx.
And not only that,
just
it's also the
names.
fact
It's
the
not
fact
Yeah,
that
they're just
named
different
cards.
cards. Like,
No,
he says, they're just
no,
different
no, no,
cards.
because
they
you're
don't
saying
necessarily become insta staples. Like Maxx is
yeah,
a
that's the thing.
insta staple.
Okay, well,
no matter
yeah,
what.
Why does he
okay,
act
that's
like
the
So
thing.
wait, no, but I want
Whoa.
to get, but I want to get to this first.
Okay.
Second is you're talking about people deck building with respect to Maxx. This one I think I did screw up how I sort of explained this. When I talk about people building for Maxx, I mean, like, for Math Mech, they are labbing out lines for if they Ash the Circular or they Maxx the Circular that don't necessarily require deck building considerations. They're play style considerations. You send Diameter off Circular rather than
okay,
Sigma,
but you
so
don't
can normal
make that
match,
choice.
right?
That's just a flawed example because it sends for cost. If you have only Circular in hand, you're going to send Sigma and then they Maxx.
No, but what he's
so
saying
you can
is you
All right,
get
let Gage
additional-
cook. Let Gage cook.
No, what he's saying is you get Maxx, and then people have already optimized a way to play into the Maxx C, but not give your opponent enough resources while still sticking on a board. I think that's unique.
Yes.
Like, imagine, like,
Yes.
I don't know why, like, we're in this zone where it's like, I get Maxx C'd, I instantly have to pass my turn. If I've learned anything from Master Duel, it's that sometimes playing through Maxx C or making certain types of boards, you're at a best of one. Sometimes you have to just throw shit at the wall and hope it works.
I mean, if they Maxx C a branded fusion, you're fine. You know, you
Yeah,
get
well,
one
branded is
draw,
not a
and
deck
then you
that
make
gets
mirror
cooked
J.
by it.
The final thing that you brought up that I do want to address is when you're like, Maxx C is an insta staple. I think that's mostly true, but there have been periods in Master Duel, specifically when Flu and Runic were top decks, that people were shaving it. Like, I think there exists a hypothetical like metagame in which Maxx C is not fantastic.
That's just
So-
not true, dude. That's just not true. This is
No,
why
it's
Maxx C-
literally true that
this is
people
why
were
Maxx-
shaving it.
This is what. Well, they're bad. That's all I have to say.
Oh
The
my
reason-
God.
some people,
The reason
some
why
people
Maxx
were
C
playing
is so
less,
fundamentally unfair in this situation is because even against doggy decks like Floodgate Runic, you will still, at some point, 1-for-1.
But people aren't playing Upstart, right? Like, Upstart is not a good enough card for people to
No, but the
include in
logic
their
is that
lists.
you go in blind to it. You don't play like Upstart blind.
You're literally playing a card that reads, at worst, I'm upstart. At best, I auto-win the game.
Yeah,
Okay,
exactly.
We're not trying to resolve the question. We're trying to figure out who's lying.
Okay,
I-
yeah, sure.
I-
All right, anyway.
so, like-
Yeah, no, Gage, who do you think the imposter is? Just based off of this.
Kevin had a really strong statement.
There
and it was
is
like, it was
no
way
way.
too extreme.
No
way
shot
you're
you
gonna
think
say
he's
that
the
to me.
imposter.
No.
Come on.
The problem with the problem with Kevin being the imposter is he literally said one sentence. He was like, "I fucking hate this card." It was like, "Well, what are we supposed to prove about that?"
He hates it. He hates it.
But he was just so over the top for it, bro. Like, he was so
I
over
mean,
the top.
literally, watch my stream for 2 seconds. Maxx C gets activated on me, and I instantly go, fuck!
Oh, so you're the guy I was just talking about. Oh, I concede if I see Maxx C. Yeah, okay.
Yeah,
all
I
right.
do. I don't concede if I see Maxx C, but like, dude, you have no idea how frustrating it is to literally go normal summon Moye, reveal a Sword Soul, reveal a worm, and they go Maxx C, and I'm like, dope. I now have to either pass here or let them Pot of Greed so I can Shishao set Blackout Pass.
This is a wonderful example because you are ending on a winning board in Chi Blackout
No,
Pass.
you
and
are
you're
not
literally-
ending on
plus
No,
ones.
you act
You
like
are not.
plus
You
one,
are not ending on a
and it's
winning board.
impossible to win it there. It's like it's not impossible to win.
It
at that
is,
point.
bro. I'm
It's
sorry.
not.
If you're
What
playing,
the
if you
fuck?
are,
It's
if
just
you,
not.
Gage, if you're playing against Branded, if you're playing against fucking Runic, if you're playing against any of the top decks in the game right now with 7 cards in their hand, not considering any of the cards in their hand that go plus, they are starting with 7 cards to your Imperm plus, what's it called, Icarus attack.
Are we just forgetting you have 3 other cards in your hand?
Okay, cool. Yeah, one of them is a worm that I revealed off my Moye that leaves room for 2 more hand traps.
That's the worst thing, Gage, because the other cards in your hand could be like extenders that you just can't use because Maxx C's
exactly.
Damn it. I was gonna say Kevin because I was like, oh, that was like a really bad argument, but I really don't think it's Kevin.
What I will say, I don't think that it's Gage, and maybe I'm completely wrong here, because I ran a good amount of games against Gage literally just a few days ago, and we Maxx'd each other back and forth, and not once did I hear him complain about it, ever. So I definitely think it's most likely Joseph, because I definitely know for a fact that Nadir hates the fucking card.
The thing is, I don't even hate it. It's just like in best of one specifically, it's worse. Joseph, do you know why I think it's you? It's like, so I'm gonna probably vote for you, and it's like, you have to pick now. You're really stupid, or you're the imposter. Because your argument for, well, if you go first and you set up your combo board, you win anyway, even regardless of Maxx C. That's just not true. You can break boards.
is true.
You can break boards. It's doable. You can absolutely win this game going second. But if your opponent drops
maybe you
Maxx C
can
as
break
well,
a fucking Dante pass, all right? But you,
No.
okay, he went
there. He went
No.
there.
you're not gonna break 3 hand traps, super factorial, wicked, Lingaribo, Masquerena. It isn't gonna happen.
I agree with Joseph here. You are not breaking 3 hand traps. You know what gets you to 3 hand traps? Maxx C. I rest my case.
I am glad that Farfa
shut
brought that
up.
up though, because I completely forgot about that point Joseph made. I thought that was dog shit too, bro. I'm not gonna
Hey,
lie.
Joseph, real quick as well. I'm sorry. I know I'm focusing on you, but it's like you have the shittest takes that I can't help it, right? So you said like people are mathing out these lines to like play around Maxx C. I don't know about MathMech.
Right.
I've never played that. But you said branded. I'm sorry. What is the line for branded fusion to play around Maxx C? It doesn't change. You still go Lebellion into Mirror Jade. Nothing changes.
God, you literally do not know a goddamn thing.
What is it? Tell me.
Enlighten us.
You hold the fucking quick play. You hold the quick play instead of starting your turn with a Luber. You don't go for the lost line early. You don't get greedy.
No,
and
you
add
said
the
branded
McCourier.
fusion. You didn't say anything about branded opening.
I said
Wait.
branded.
1 second.
What do you think branded is?
No,
you
one
said
sec,
branded
one sec.
fusion.
Whoa,
You didn't say
whoa, whoa, whoa.
opening.
We have our imposter. Joseph, what do you mean you hold the quick play? Are you talking
So
about
if
are you talking about branded opening?
Yeah.
The card that can either special or add, so if they max you, you just add the Eluber and normal summon it?
But you would always want to special the Aluber in a best of all possible worlds.
Yeah, but in a best of all
But if
possible
they
world,
chain
your
Maxx,
opponent
you
doesn't
just
have
add it.
Maxx.
No, but if you are playing without respect to your opponent, and you have a hand that includes branded opening, and you lead branded opening, and your opponent chains Maxi,
Yeah.
you don't have access to branded lost. But if you lead fusion, and then when they maxi, you chain opening, you get lost for later in the turn, so when you go on your opponent's turn for the branded in red, you can trigger it to get the McCourier. That's the line.
That's fair, but you didn't say branded opening in the opening argument. You said explicitly branded fusion.
You're out of... Shut the fuck up.
You did.
are
No,
just-
I
you
don't,
did.
I don't know about that.
that's
one.
Shut the fuck
Time's
up.
That was the coolest head I've ever seen, bro. This guy literally just chilled you out, bro.
Either Joseph is the imposter or he is Gage's #1 ally.
No, I hate to do this. I hate to do like meta shit, but I think that it's Gage. As soon as Nadir jumped on me, despite the fact that Gage and I have the exact same take, he was like, "Oh yeah, it is Joseph." Joseph, the argument was bad that I agree with.
Okay, let me ask Gage one final question. Do you agree that you would be able to go second just as easily as you do now, replacing Maxi with these other cards in a world where Maxi doesn't exist, and it would be more fun?
No. Your very last part is the dumbest thing I've ever heard.
You don't
bro.
think it would be more fun to be playing in a format where you're playing with drop it over Maxi?
Like you said, man, you played me just last night. You dropped Maxi every single turn, and I don't complain once. I'm playing Yu-Gi-Oh! I'm having a good time. Like Joseph said, they're just different cards. I don't know why we've just
Not
acted
asking
like
if you're having. He wants to know if it would be more fun.
No, I still think it would be equal amount of fun. I don't care. Like you said, it's just different cards.
There's
I
some
just
real
think they're-
anime take here, Gage. Like,
As long as we're having fun and playing with our friends, then
I don't
that's all
get
that
it.
matters.
No, like the thing, like I said in my argument, man. Like I've come
You've
to respect
come.
Maxi.
I have come.
I've come to a decision, is what I've.
I have
already
also
came at a
come.
decision.
Let's all write them down.
I have also come. 1 sec, I just gotta write the name down.
can we vote Joseph just because I want to see him like imagining in my brain like him falling out of a spaceship?
I have my vote written down already.
Okay, I'm ready. Yep.
3, 2, 1.
I have Joseph. I don't know who is it.
You're supposed to announce you're the imposter.
I'm not the imposter.
It's me.
Let's go! Did we all get Joseph?
I wrote Gage.
You did? There's no way!
I was lying my fucking ass off. Are you kidding? It's so easy to break boards in Yu-Gi-Oh! Now. Like, oh, how am I going to break Mirror Jade Pass? I think Nadir's argument about how they have a built board and then fire Maxi while a Baron's up, I think that's just the winning argument. Also, that line about branded fusion or whatever, I just pulled out of my ass. I
Yeah,
don't even
I
know
could
if
tell.
it works. I legitimately don't know if it works.
I thought it was pretty smart. You came up with that on the fly.
Wow.
If you have
Actual
branded
lawyer
fusion, you
Andy.
can-
All right. Thank you all for coming by. We're hatting it up. That's it. I don't have a good
We're
outro.
hatting it up.
Had it
hatting
up,
it.
boys. Leave a hat
Yo,
in
you
the
know
comment.
what we need to get? Didn't they make like plushy magical hats?
Yeah.
We need to all get one of those.
Could we just get like some Burger King hats? You know those crowns?
Oh.
Are we
I'm
done
not- I'm
recording?
sure-
Can I stop?
Yeah, we're done recording.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, I'm gonna stop recording.
Like I said in my argument, man. Like I've come
You've come.
I have come!